Yeah.
Okay, I think we're recording. Okay, welcome to our team call, guys. I'm really excited for tonight because I have some information that, some things that I have learned. I signed up with this new Facebook training. I mean, a lot of it can be applied to all social media, but it's specific to Facebook. And so I have actually taken the plunge, and I'm going to just start building off of my like page because my warm market isn't very warm anymore. Because after 2 years, like, I just feel like I really want to tap into that cold market and start to start to build those relationships. And so that's where I'm at. And so that's kind of like scary for me, but I'm excited because the things that I've learned, like I've only been in the group like not even a week, and I feel like I've already like learned so much. And so there's no way that I could like pass on all of the information. Like, it is just so much, and it's super, super valuable stuff, you guys. Like, I will continue to like keep you updated and hopefully share with you things that I think can be beneficial to everybody. Like tonight, like this stuff, like, I think is really, really good, like specific things, and then that you can do, and then things that I hope, like, information I'll just give you that hopefully you can take away and just apply it to your business and to your Facebook stuff. Okay, so as a coach, like, I don't know about you, but I didn't sign up to be a salesman. I am a horrible salesman. I like worked at Gap for 2 years, and that was like the most selling I ever want to do in my whole life. It was awful. Okay, so, and that's like, we don't want our, like, when we're talking about it, like, we don't want people to sign up thinking that they have to sell Beachbody stuff, because Beachbody spends so much money on advertising and doing all of that stuff that we don't need to sell. Like, that is not our job. And so I can't stress that enough. Like, don't ever post stock photos. Don't ever post just like a link to your website, because like, that is salesy and it's sleazy. And when you do that, you're just telling people that you want them to buy stuff from you. And that is not what this business is. This is a relationship building business, and that's the only way that any of us will ever be successful, is if that is your attitude, and your goal is to build relationships, because we want to help people, right? Like, that's the only way that you can be successful, is when you help somebody become healthier and happier. And there's no way that you can do that if you just sell them a challenge pack and then send them on their way. Like, that's not building a relationship. So hopefully the things that I share with you guys tonight, you can take that and implement it into, the way that you're posting and the things that you're sharing, and how the conversations that you're having with people. So that way because you don't want to sell. I don't want you to sell. But one thing that I love about this training that I'm doing is that they focus a lot on attraction marketing. So what that means is having people come to you, right? I mean, wouldn't that be nice, right? If we had people that were genuinely attracted to you, and you're not like having to, search out all of these people. And, because I feel like a lot of times that's what it can feel like. And so if you focus on drawing people in, then you don't have to worry about, you don't have like an ulterior motive. You're not like trying to get them to buy something from you, which can, make you feel like a salesman. Okay, so there are 10 tips that I'm going to share, and then there's a little video that I want. I'm actually just going to do a screen share and have you guys watch, because I feel like it's so, so important. And then there's one more thing I want to do at the very end, but I don't know if we're going to have time, so we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so 10 tips for attraction marketing. The first one, make your page stand out in a good way. So, you have to look at your Facebook page, whether it's your personal page or your like page, and you have to look and see how you are standing out in a good way to other people. What are they seeing? What are they getting when they look at all of your posts? So people come to Facebook for one of three reasons, okay? Or maybe it's for more than two of the three, but there's three reasons why people are on Facebook. One is to be informed, okay? Two is to be educated, and the third one is to be entertained. Those are the only reason that people come to Facebook, okay? So to inform somebody is to tell a fact, or to, I mean, in our business, it could be, Kale does this for you. You're giving them information, okay? To educate them is to teach them something. Like, there are people out there who do fitness videos, or giving recipes, okay? Like those are examples of teaching something. But I mean, it could go beyond that. It could be, learning about, home remedies for whatever. I mean, there's a million things you could teach on Facebook, okay? And the third one, to entertain. So that's not just like humor, like haha, making people laugh, but that also includes sharing your story and anything that you can do to connect with somebody emotionally. Okay, that's where the entertainment comes in, is when somebody is making an emotional connection with you. Okay, so look at your posts and ask, are my posts fitting in one of those categories? Okay, are they informing or educating or entertaining? Because that is why people are on Facebook. I mean, why are you on Facebook, right? Okay, the second thing is to show your face. So there's a couple reasons why you want to do that, right? So it helps to brand yourself, because ultimately you are a business, okay? You, as a Beachbody coach, you've got this business, which also means that you have to establish your brand. Now, this was always super confusing to me, like as a new coach. And I'm like, well, what is my brand? I don't know what's my brand. I mean, we can like go into that on like a whole different call, but when you put your face out there, then it helps people to remember who you are. Whether they realize it or not, seeing your face helps to establish your brand and what you are giving to people. So when you do that though, like, don't just like take a selfie and always be smiling. I mean, as pretty as smiles are, show emotion. So, use different emotions and different facial expressions in order to tell a story or tell whatever you're posting about. Like if you like are, snaking your toilet because, it got all clogged, like make a disgusting face, like, ew, this is gross. I can't believe I have to do this. Okay. Like, I mean, what emotions do you make, throughout your day? Like post about those. Or if you're dead tired after your workout, like make an exhausted face and show that, because when people can see that you have emotion and personality, that, that's attractive, and that will attract people to you. Also, incorporate your kids or your dogs, because when you do that, you are if I take a picture, like with my baby, then I'm attracting other moms who have babies, okay? Because they make an emotional connection between that photo. If you have a dog, take a picture with your dog, because chances are other dog lovers are going to like that photo, right? Because they have an emotional connection with their dog. So things that are important to you, include those in your post, because those are the people that you want to attract, people that are like you. Okay, the third thing is to share your story. Now, I remember, and even still, sometimes I think, well, my story, isn't that great. Like, I don't have, a story. But you do. Everybody has a story, whether you think you do or not, or no matter how good you think it is or not, okay? If you have lived 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you have got a story, okay? You have not just like sat in a white room your entire life and never had anything happen to you. You have a story. You've had struggles. You've had relationships. You've had things that you've had to overcome. And so you've got a story, and we're actually going to talk a little bit more about that later. But just talk about, what is going on in your life, and don't hide your imperfections, because people want to know that you're not perfect, okay? People want to know that you've got loose skin, that you struggle with emotional eating, that you are self-conscious about going live on Facebook. Like, they want to know what your imperfections are. Which brings me to my next one. Number 4, videos are huge. Okay. And I mean, I'm saying do as I say, not as I do, because I know that I'm not like great at videos, you guys. Okay. That's like something that I know I need to work on. But videos are humongous. They get so much more engagement, and they boost your affinity on your page, okay? Facebook Live videos are even bigger. And I know like how scary it is to go live on Facebook. Okay, I just went live on the team page, and I seriously I didn't even say half the things I wanted to say. Okay, Kelsey is really good at live videos. So, but you guys, the only way to get over it is to just do it. Like, who cares if you suck? Okay, the only way to get better is to do it. Oh, and I know I need to do it. So you guys can harp on me about that. You can use the team page, because the team page is great practice, right, Kelsey? Okay. Number 5 is to develop your own brand. I'm actually going to post on our team page, because I found this really interesting. So in this training that I'm doing, they posted a link, and this isn't sharing what I'm not supposed to or anything, but there's a link that you can go to, and it helps you, and it's like a quiz that you can take about different things that are important to you, and like a personality quiz, but it's a personality quiz for your brand. Okay. And it tells you what kind of fonts fit your brand, colors, what your style is, what you are trying to give off. And I found it super helpful. And so you might have to take it a couple times, if you get more than one answer, just to kind of figure out what your brand is. But I thought it was really cool, and I've never seen anything like that. So I'm going to post that, and you guys should definitely go do that. Okay, number 6 is to share other popular content. Okay, now I always thought that, if I share something from somebody else, then they're not going to like my stuff. They're going to go and like this other person's stuff, right? But you guys, we have to have a give mentality. So any way that you can add value or give something to somebody else that they will feel is valuable is good for your business, okay? Any way that you can, whether it's a recipe or another funny video or something from the Olympics or an uplifting article that you read, okay? Don't share stuff all the time, right? I don't want to see your page just sharing stuff. But anything that adds value that somebody else will find, be like, oh, wow, that was really cool. Or, oh, that was really great. Or, oh, I found that really entertaining. Or, oh, that was very, informative. Those are great things to share, because it shows that you are willing to give, which is what we have to do as coaches. We have to show people that we are willing to give, and give some more, okay? But when you do share something, don't just click the share button, okay? Write up a post about why you're sharing, about why it's important to you, or about why, it hit home with you, or just write something about why this means something to you, okay? Put some thought into it, and so that way, people can know where you're coming from, and you're not just clicking to share because it was great. Okay. Number 7, ask questions. or put up comparison photos. Like, this is great, okay? People love to give their opinions on things. If you have ever done a post like that, then you know that people love to voice their opinion. They love to help you make decisions. They love to, give you their thoughts. So asking questions, and it can be anything, you guys. It can be, about like, which swimsuit do you think, is better? Or what, like before I went to Summit, the first time I posted something about boots, like I had 4 different pictures of boots that I was trying to decide between. Oh my goodness, I got so many comments on it. Like, everyone has an opinion about what kind of boots I should buy. Okay, so it can be anything, or about, do you work out in the morning or the evening, or even just saying, what do you think about this? Just asking for people's opinions. People love to give their opinions. Helps them to feel like they matter. Everybody wants to voice their opinion on Facebook. Going along with that, guys, I'm just going to say it, don't post about political stuff, because you are just opening up a whole can that you're not going to be able to contain. And those people are not the kind of people that, you're allowed to have an opinion, okay? But do not post something on Facebook about who you feel, should win, or what you don't like about this candidate, because it's not going to help your business. I promise you. You right there are excluding a whole bunch of other people who won't agree with you, and they're instantly going to be turned off from your page. Okay? So just don't do it, because you're automatically like telling people, don't follow me because we don't have the same, political views. So just don't do it. Okay, number 8. Post 3 to 5 times per day. Sometimes, you guys, I understand that can be really hard. But if you have a like page, you can actually go and schedule your posts. So we schedule posts as coaches a lot, right? Using Postcron or Hootsuite or whatever. But when you are scheduling use those platforms to schedule posts on your like page or on your personal page, because Facebook does not like other scheduling platforms. It's fine if it's for a group, okay? That is totally fine. Or an event or something. That's fine. But not for your like page or your personal page. Use the Facebook scheduler. You can't on your personal page. I'm pretty sure you can't. But you can on your like page. And you can do that, and that will be totally fine. Facebook actually likes it. But scheduling out your posts, like if you just sit down once a week and just schedule out, if like Kelsey, you're at school or whatever, you could schedule things out whenever, like during your lunch hour, so it looks like you're posting, but you're busy. Anyways, I'm just saying that the more that you show people that you are present, then the more people are going to remember you. Okay. And you guys, I'm not saying like you have to schedule or you have to always do posts, that are vulnerable or that are sharing a recipe, like, sharing other things, or funny quotes or whatever. There's a million things that you can plan out. Okay. And it's better, don't just post to post. Okay. It's better to have 1 or 2 well thought out posts than 3 to 5 just posts that you're just slapping on there, okay? Because you don't want to post junk, because then people will be like, oh, this isn't worth my time. I don't need to look at, Brittany's posts or whatever. Okay, number 9. And this is something that they talked about at Summit that I've been trying really hard to do, is respond to every single comment on your posts, okay? Every single comment. I don't even care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's me, okay? Because when you respond, Facebook boosts your posts. It shows that your post is popular the more comments that you have. So respond to every single comment, whether you're saying thank you, or you're asking, that person a question, or, you're just do something to engage with that comment on Facebook. Okay. So if you guys ever post on or comment on my stuff, I will, since Summit, I'm trying to be really good about responding to every single darn comment. Okay. Number 10 is, and this is the biggest one, guys. Okay. Always provide value. Okay. So give. I can't even say that enough. They've stressed that so much in this training. You have to give and not expect anything in return. And I know you're well, this is my business. This is what I'm trying to do. You guys, the more that you give and add value to your posts and to, helping other people, the more that people are going to trust you and want you to help them. Okay. And the more that they're going to share your posts, and the more that, they're going to tell their friends about, oh, there's this girl that I follow on Facebook, and she has the best recipes, or she has the best, exercises that she does. Okay. The more that you are giving, then the more, and the more value you're adding, the more that people are going to be attracted to you. And that is your goal, because those are the people who are attracted to you are the people that you can build those relationships with. So look at your posts and reverse it. Don't think don't have the mentality, well, what's in it for me? Put yourself in your reader's shoes and think, well, what's in it for them? What are they getting out of your posts? Okay. So just make sure that you're standing out in a good way. You're adding value. So I know that maybe some of those things kind of maybe you're oh yeah, well duh, that makes sense. But you really just have to make that concerted effort to do all of those things. Okay. And to maybe change some of the things that you are doing. I know I've decided to go all in on my fitness page. Sometimes you just have to flip a switch and just do it. Doing live videos, you know what? I just got to do it. Just go all in and be I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to find out. Okay. Okay. So I have this video. Hold on. Let me find. Okay, where are you? I'm going to go to screen share. Here we go. Okay. Can you guys, oh wait, no, not yet. Okay, can you give me a thumbs up if you see my screen? No. Yeah? Okay. So this is a 10-minute video that we're going to watch. Now, the biggest tool that we have in our coaching toolbox is sharing our story. Because when you share your story, that is where people are attracted to you, and people make that emotional connection. And because they realize that they have something in common with you. And so, that's when their interest is piqued. That's when they start following you, is when they can find that emotional connection. And so the guy who does this video, he tells you who he is, but he's a copywriter, and he talks about the importance of sharing your story, and he gives some really great tips. So it's just a 10-minute video. And I promise, well, there's actually 4 parts to this, and I'm not going to show all of them, but this one I really like, because he talks about how even though you don't think you have a story, you do. You really do. So I'm just going to go ahead and push play, and I'm going to enlarge it, so hopefully it'll take up the whole screen.
My name is Mark Machete. I'm a friend of Jesse Reagan, and I'm also a copywriter. I'm a digital marketer. Now, copywriting is the language of emotion. It's all about conveying and triggering very specific emotion. It's not writing like regular writing. It's very conversational writing. It's writing the way I'm talking with you right now. And that is selling in 2016. You don't have to create a facade, and you don't need to become a masterful salesperson in order to connect with and get a lot of people into your Beachbody business. You don't need to know any of that. You don't need to be an expert marketer. You don't need to be an expert anything. You're going to learn what you need to know as you go. That's really important. And this is the first step, developing a giving mindset. The very first thing and the number one thing that you're always going to have to make sure that you execute and apply every step along the way building your Beachbody business is giving as much as you possibly can. So you're not giving to get something, you're giving just to give. You're giving to build your brand, to show who you are and develop some credibility and authority. You're showing people who you are, what you've been through, and giving them the ability to see themselves in your story, the ability to connect. No sales ever begins until you make that initial emotional connection. In other words, you can't draw new team members onto your team until you first emotionally connect with them. And the only way that you can emotionally connect with people, not the only way, but the most authentic way, and if you look at your tool bag, this is the tool that you're going to be pulling out of it every single day, which is sharing what you go through, sharing your story, being completely open, being completely vulnerable, letting people see, people that you've never met before, letting them see the intimate details about everything you've been through and everything you're going through and everything that you've broken through and become. That is what running a Beachbody coaching business is all about. It's all about sharing and connecting. And I hope you're excited about that. I hope you're excited about opening up and letting people see you, see what you've endured, and seeing what you've become, because that is how you are going to attract them onto your team. And by the same token, you're also demonstrating what you're going to be able to teach them by doing this all yourself first. And then you're going to be able to help nurture people who are actually going to be able to achieve everything that you talk about. Now, that being said, it is not your responsibility to guarantee anybody gets anything, whether it's losing 10 pounds, losing 20 pounds, making money as a Beachbody coach, having better relationships, making more money. You can't guarantee anybody is going to achieve anything if they join your team. However, by having all of these systems and tools in place, you are going to be able to guide the people who are genuinely interested in achieving those things so that they can get there. But they have to ask, and you will give them everything they ask for if and when they do. But until they do, it is not your responsibility to make them do anything. Everybody has to take responsibility for their lives. And break that word down, responsibility. They have to be able to respond, and the ability to go in a direction that they know they need to go in order to achieve what they got into their Beachbody coaching business to achieve. And you can help them, but they have to ask. And if they do ask, give them all the help they want. But if they don't, it's going to be very difficult for you to help them do anything, because they have to be receptive. They have to be open to receiving the help that you give them. So in this first Beachbody module, you're going to be introduced. I'm going to show you, I created some slides for you. I did a voiceover on it. And I wanted to make a really concise message that is going to explain, is going to communicate exactly why you want to develop a giving mindset in much more depth than I just communicated right now. So stay tuned for those slides, and then immerse yourself in this information. Really get excited about living the Beachbody lifestyle and offering people as much value, total strangers, because that's how you're attracting them onto your team. Open up. Vulnerability. You can't reach people if you're not vulnerable. You can't connect with people if you're not vulnerable. So that is the number one step. The decision, to give as much as you can without expecting anything in return. And yeah, it is true. You're giving so you can build your Beachbody business, but you never know where these people are going to come from and what they've been through and why they're attracted to working with you. So just give each and every day as much content, videos, quite frankly, just like this. It's easy to do, it's quick, and since this is a business, you need to make sure that you have scheduled posts each and every day that are going to go up on Facebook so that everybody who's interested in becoming a Beachbody coach can be exposed to you first and foremost. So enjoy the slides, immerse yourself in the information, and I'll see you in the next video. When you first start your Beachbody coaching journey, your initial work isn't about getting lots and lots of new team members. I know that might sound counterintuitive, but this is really important. You have to establish your personal brand, your authority, and your why for being a Beachbody coach before you can start building a truly sustainable and purpose-driven business, which is incredibly important too. That means you have to provide value and give people something they want and need before you have any quote-unquote business asking anyone for anything, like an email address or a like on your Facebook posts. Here's the key. You have to live the Beachbody lifestyle and embody the Beachbody mindset. Here's why. The most successful Beachbody coaches largely achieved their enormously profitable status and stature in the company by sharing their personal experiences, which is a very different approach than selling as usual. The key here is you have to open up, be totally raw and vulnerable, and let people into your life. Let them see your daily success habits, your daily struggles, your daily breakthroughs, and how you achieved them, which is coincidentally also how you'll attract and get highly motivated people onto your team. You help them by letting them into your story. Then they help you by increasing your bottom line. Now, there's a saying I have, the more people you help, the more money you'll make. And you help people by letting them into your life, your world, and your Beachbody journey. That's how you become a personal brand. That's how you become an authority in the Beachbody coaching space. That's how you attract the future team leaders that will explode your bottom line. The future team leaders who are inspired by the way you magnetize them into your Beachbody business and wanted nothing more than to learn from you and duplicate what you do. How amazing will that feel? How validating will it be for you to attract people into your life and business who want to learn from and work with you and only you? And how fulfilling will it be to build your passive income by simply helping your team members develop a mindset of helping more people? The question is, in the face of wanting or needing to make a lot of money quickly, how do you authentically acquire the somewhat lofty help state of mind? Well, step one, you have to rise above your own personal agenda and circumstances, the ones you're dealing with right now. In other words, you know you want to quickly start building a passive income, but getting there isn't about chasing the money, no matter how badly you might need it. You have to constantly give people something to get anything in return. And every action you take must come from this foundation and inspiration. Step two, you have to know who you're talking with, right? The people you want to help. So you're clear about how to best have an effective conversation with them and tap into their biggest pain points, wants, and biggest hopes. This is what your avatar is. It's having a crystal clear picture about who you're talking with. And to find your avatar, there are two main things to look for within yourself. You have to find the quote-unquote identification factor in you and your story. This is about giving people a way to quote-unquote see themselves in your specific challenges and breakthroughs, which I'll talk more about in another video. It's all backed by some really cool and inspiring science. There's also something that needs to really drive you in your Beachbody class. But this is a specific subject, cause, or result you're passionate about. For instance, if you lost 100 pounds, your story and passion might be to appeal to people who have a daunting amount of weight to shed. Or maybe you overcame type 2 diabetes and want to reach people who like you were, are suffering from the disease's horrible symptoms. Or maybe you overcame insecurity from being bullied when you were younger, or from that horrible divorce that left you floundering. This is what I call your why. When you put those two things together in tandem with your Beachbody routine, challenges, and daily breakthroughs, you've got a transparent insight into the circumstances and emotions that the people you want to attract are experiencing and feeling right now. So from this very instant forward, your only job is to keep learning, sharing, and growing, and letting people watch and feel inspired by your Beachbody journey. When you're ready to discover how, check out the next video.
Okay. Did you guys get that? Okay, so there's a lot of videos, okay? So he goes into detail about how to talk about how to find your story, because I feel like that it's hard. Like, how do you know what you have to give people? How do you know, what your story is, and in what way can it connect with other people? I feel like sharing my story has kind of been a struggle for me. But there's one exercise that we do in the training that opened like a whole new world of my story that I discovered. And so I want to tell you guys about it and what that is. And I don't know how you guys feel, but what we did is we did an interview. Okay, so there's a list of questions that you have somebody. Oh, sorry, I think I just muted Sam's video, or someone. Sorry, I meant to mute audio. So there's a list of questions that I want to ask a few of you. I just want to ask, I'm not going to ask all the questions on there, but that I think, and then I want you to ask yourself. So I want to ask Katie a question, and then I want to ask, maybe I should just ask everybody one question, but I want you to ask yourself what that is. And I really think it's a good idea for you to maybe pair up with somebody and just interview each other and ask these questions to help you learn about your story. Because the cool thing is that I love, isn't it so easy to read Brigitta's posts? Brigitta Linford, she does such a great job of posting, and I feel like it's because she writes exactly how she talks. And that's what that guy was talking about, writing in copy, or whatever he called it. When you write the way you talk, then you have your personality, and you can put your emotion into it instead of you're writing, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's easy to just be writing at somebody, but if you write like you're talking to somebody, then there's a difference. There's a difference when you're talking to your best friend and when you're talking to people on Facebook. There's a difference. And so when you take the way that you talk and write a post like that, then it's a lot easier to put emotion into it and to share your story, and it's a lot easier for people to connect. And that's why I feel like I really connect with Brigitta's posts because of the way that she talks. But the thing that you can do with this interview, and I did this with my success partner, is we recorded it. So we got on a Zoom just like this, and we recorded it. And then you can go and you can type up your responses, and you can take those responses or different pieces from your interview, and you can make a post about them. You can type, you can take sentences, or you can take paragraphs, and you can take that emotion and you can put it into a post. And that is a great way for you to share your story, and for people, a great way for people to connect with you. So yeah? He's crying? Okay. So maybe we won't be able to do it. My baby's crying and my husband's not home. But let me just really quick just tell you some of the questions that are in the interview. So that way maybe you guys can just start thinking about it. But to have somebody to talk through it with, it's, I don't know, you can dig a lot deeper than as if you were just asking yourself these questions. And you can really find the emotional response that you have when you make that connection. So let me just pull up some of the questions really quick. Okay. So I'll just read a handful of them, and then I will put the questions on our team page. And I would encourage you guys, just message somebody and be like, hey, do you want to do an interview with me? Or, I'm happy to do it too if you want. Okay, so here are some of the questions. What is your story? So in other words, how did you fall down the rabbit hole of needing to transform yourself physically or emotionally, so you can reach your true physical potential or emotional potential, what that is. Like, what is your story? How did you get to that point? Have you experienced lots of, ill health or disease, or what have you struggled with, physically or emotionally or financially? And how did that make you feel when you had those struggles? What were, feelings that you had? What were your relationships like, in the moments when you're struggling? And why do you really want to overcome those struggles? Like, why are you passionate about overcoming those things? What are your identification factors? So what challenges or breakthroughs, do you want to help other people with? What do you want to help other people overcome, within themselves? How can you use your problems or your struggles to identify, or make an emotional connection with, other people? Why are you passionate about health and fitness? Why is it important to you? Or why did you pick Beachbody? Describe your ideal challenger or your ideal coach. Who are they? Where are they, on their journey? What does that look like to you? And where do you fit in helping them accomplish their goals? What obstacles do you have to overcome? Like right now, what are your obstacles? And what have been the most difficult things that you have faced on your journey? Okay, here's a good one. What pisses you off? Like, what makes you mad? Like, in general, whether it's what other people do, what's happened in the past, like, what is something that really makes your blood boil and that you just can't stand, you don't want to live with? Or what is something about the situation that you're in right now that you cannot stand and that has to change? What keeps you up at night? What accomplishments have given you a major sigh of relief? Like, what accomplishments have you made that you are proud of? And how have you defied your own expectations or other people's expectations? What are, some things that you have done that have, gone above and beyond what you ever expected? Okay, so those are just some of the questions that he gave us in our training. When I was answering them, some of them I was like, whoa, like I had no idea that I was so emotionally attached to some of those answers. But realizing that really brought out pieces of my story. And those are things that I can share in order to connect with other people so that way they can feel that connection with me and I can, and start building that relationship. So, it's true. Like as a coach, like that is like our biggest tool. That is the one thing that sets you apart from everybody else. That is the one way that people will connect with you is from your story. And even though you might not feel like you have a story, when you think about these questions and when you talk them through with somebody, like your story comes out and the things that are truly important to you, like they might surprise you and your eyes, they can be opened. And so I hope that you guys will do that. Okay, now I lost there we are. Okay, so I have to go and help my baby. But thanks guys for getting on tonight. Let me